Hey trail travelers, it's Carrie, and we are on Pingree Park Road. This is west of Fort Collins. It's about an hour drive out, and it's right off beautiful Poudre Canyon. It's absolutely gorgeous in this area. And this is supposed to be an easy trail, and it's open during the winter. So we're just gonna give it a nice little drive and check it out, see what it's all about. So let's get going and have some fun on an easy trail today. Well, it is the middle of February here. It's February 19th, and as you can see, there's quite a bit of snow on the ground, but this particular trail is not as high as most of them. So it shouldn't be too big of a problem just to kind of cruise through if you want a nice leisurely drive in the mountains. Most everything else is just completely bogged down with snow, so it's kind of a hit or miss this time of year as to where you can go. Right now we're at 7,000 feet, and the snow line, well, I mean the snow line's right here, but when it comes to off-roading and going on some trails, really the snow line's about 8,000 feet, and it's just completely socked in. Now this area has some camping and some hiking, so we're bound to see some other people along the way. Plus, the road's clear, so if you want to pretty much go for a mountain drive, there aren't too many places right now. All the more common places, Bunt School Road, that's open, but there's a lot of snow there, so there's a lot of people there. And Highway 7 to get to it is closed, so you have to go all the way around to Estes Park. And then you have Yankee Hill, and Yankee Hill has a ton of snow. And again, because it's open, there's going to be a ton of people there getting stuck and backing up the trail. So I tend to try and find stuff that's a little more out of the way when it's winter time. I think this is going to be just a pretty simple day, maybe a nice scenic drive. It's rated on Trails Off-Road as basically easy. I mean, I think people can come up here in pretty much any type of vehicle. I would suggest four-wheel drive or all-wheel drive just because of the snow on the ground, and it's going to get icy and slippery. But as long as you've got decent tires and decent traction, I don't see why you couldn't do this in pretty most any sedans or minivans or anything else. This definitely should not be a Jeep adventure today. But hopefully it'll be pretty, and we'll get out, get some footage, and maybe be able to make a nice little recommendation for people who want something a little easier. And we're just getting started, and there's some really pretty views here. This was part of the last big fire, so a lot of the hillsides are bare right now. To the right there was a little camp area. See, entering burned area, stay on roads, no campfires. So I'm sure we'll probably get some up close and personal views of some of the burn areas, which is a bit unfortunate, but things happen, and it was a pretty bad burn. But it makes it a little more open, you can see, and in the winter with it covered with snow, it doesn't look as bad as it did during the summertime. Well, we have a pretty good scenic view here of some of the burn area. You can kind of really see just how devastating that can be when it just completely wipes the hillside of trees. And then, you know, every once in a while there's a little patch down there of some trees that managed to get missed. It's going to take a long time to grow back. Well, it's a nice little road so far. Like I said, all this is supposed to be is a nice little scenic drive. And there's a couple of branches off from here that you can take for some other adventures. Some of them are going to be closed for the season. Some of them are temporarily closed because of fire damage. So you just really need a trail guide to tell you what's going on. And I use Trails Off-Road. The app is telling me where things are. Like coming up here in just a little bit are some pit toilets, handicap accessible, so that's kind of nice. And we'll see if those are open. Bennett Creek picnic ground right here. So if you need a toity stop, there's one right there. At the 4.1 mile mark is an intersection. To go to the right, you'll go to Crown Point Road, and staying to the left, we'll continue on Pingree Park Road. So we're just going to hang to the left here and continue on our planned adventure here on Pingree. The one big positive here about Pingree is the condition of this road. It is so nice that I haven't even bothered to air down. It's just a nice, smooth road. Now that also means that when there's some snow on it and it gets hard packed, it can get slippery. And in some of the turns where there's not as much sun, you can definitely, well, let's say you could have a little fun if you wanted to. But if you're not prepared for it and you go in a little too quick, you could find yourself sliding a little bit. The rest of it has, like you see here, there's enough sunlight on it that there's no issues with the road. It's only in the shaded areas on the turns that you got to be a little more careful of your speed to make sure that you're not going to be slipping and sliding around anywhere. And we got a nice little spot here where we can see through some of these trees up into the burn area right next to us. And I'm going to spin the camera around here so we can see the passenger side. We've got some burn over on that side of things. And then right here is a sign for Forest Road 152, but it's closed for the season, or closed. I don't know if it's permanent, but there's definitely nothing going on there. And we're just going to keep heading back and see where the road takes us. Well, we are creeping up on 8,000 feet. So we're starting to see some deeper snow on the side. We're seeing more snow on the road itself. But still, nothing I would be concerned about. If you have a decent vehicle with decent tires, you're going to drive right through this. 9.4 mile mark, you'll come up on the Fish Creek picnic area. I don't know if this is going to be open today. We'll take a little look here. Nope. Restroom is closed. The entrance is closed. There's a big sign that says entering burn area. So I'm sure they're probably trying to keep people out of there for the time being. At the 11.9 mile mark is the turn to go to Penrock Pass. Now that is closed. I saw signs on the way up here. Oh, and I see a gate down there that says road closed. So Penrock Pass would be another interesting place to go check out. Not during the winter. Looks like it goes up over the mountain there, but right now closed for the season. So we're going to take a pass on that. But we got some nice, beautiful views here. That's a beautiful view right there. We are at 8,668 feet. So we're continuing to climb here on Pingree Park Road. Absolutely beautiful back here. There's no sign of the burn areas. Just lush green. Absolutely gorgeous. I think we might have some beetle kill trees down in the area, but otherwise this is just, it's a beautiful area. We are coming up on the end of Pingree Park Road. It's been 16 miles out here, and at the end is the CSU Mountain campus. So this is the end of things right here. Now there's an information booth here somewhere, apparently, that talks about the history. I haven't seen that yet. We're just going to continue to the left here past the sign, and it says there's a parking area for hiking. Yep, looks like there is. And that might be the informational kiosk up there that talks about the area. But we're gonna go ahead and get turned around and work our way back out from Pingree Park Road. Out, it looks like we have some people that are stuck. So we're gonna go give them a hand and help them get unstuck.
A few moments later.
So we've got a bunch of snatch straps and line extensions and everything else already. We're gonna see if we can just yank him out. Okay, you ready? Okay, so far so good. I'm just gonna move it up a little bit. Now this is a point where things start not going to plan. I'm hooked up with a 30-foot kinetic rope connected to a tow strap, connected to a tree saver, you know, to try and get enough length between me and that other Jeep. Now the problem is I'm on a lot of ice, and I underestimated how bad the ice was at the spot where I'm sitting. And I go and try and snatch him back, and as you'll see, it doesn't work. I'm not able to get enough traction. So I make a very critical mistake. And what I did is I drove up a little bit so that I could have more room to get pulled back, and I'm just not getting anywhere. So I'm like, all right, I need to pull up a little bit further and see how that goes. And now I'm getting deeper and deeper and deeper into this snow and ice, and at some point I'm done. I'm completely stuck, and there's not going to be anything that I can do. And I try winching him, and that doesn't work either. And so there's a handful of critical mistakes. Right here you see a tree to my left. Now what I should have done from the very beginning is connected a tow strap to that and connected that to the back bumper and just winched him back. That way I would have provided myself an anchor to make sure I'm not going to go anywhere, and I could have safely winched him in.
A few moments later.
Well, I ended up getting myself stuck here. So now we're working on getting Optimus unstuck and turned around so that we can get up to the road, get some traction, and then just run enough line to kind of snatch him out of this. So we'll make a little progress here. We'll just keep winching. Didn't actually intend on testing the fiery red winch some more. It's doing its job. It's kind of slow. I'll give it that. It's a bit on the slow side for a winch, but it pulls. And with that 13,000 pound rating, it's getting us out of some fairly deep stuff here. Okay, we've got all the ropes together. Here we go. got him unstuck. What's your name?
Andrew.
Andrew, where are you from?
Los Angeles. As you can tell.
What the hell are you doing here?
I go to school at CSU, so yeah.
And you didn't know better.
Well, you know, it looked enticing. But yeah.
He got down to where it's like 3 feet deep down there. It took a lot of work to get him pulled out, but we got it. And yeah, good effort for everybody. We had to hook up winch extension lines and tree savers and kinetic ropes and tow straps to get enough line to where I had some traction. I ended up getting stuck. I had to turn around, winch myself out of it so I could get back on some gravel, but we did it.
We did.
Right on.
Thank you, I really appreciate it.
All right, take care, guys. A successful recovery in the books. That was fun. It was a little obnoxious, but we did it. I'm just gonna stop for a moment, get everything reorganized, and get back on the road. Well, sometimes you just gotta stop and help someone, and I'm just glad I have all the gear necessary. I've got winch extension lines, I had plenty of stuff, but I got a little too close and ended up getting myself hung up, had to get spun around. It's one of those days, you know, but still had all the gear to get that situation under control, get myself self-recovered, get the boys out of the pit of snow that they were in, and everything's good. They're good to go. They've hopefully learned a lesson or two about just hopping off a main road into some deep snow, and we all had some fun taking care of it and getting them undone. So, all in good fun. Everyone's safe. No one was in any danger, but and if you didn't see it, because I don't know if I was recording on my way out, but I was driving, and as I passed them, they're waving frantically at me. So I backed up and assessed the situation, and we started putting together a game plan. So, what a day. On one of the easiest trails around, Pingree Park, I end up having to do a snow recovery. Who'd have thought? So this was Pingree Park Road. Beautiful area. Absolutely gorgeous. Not hard at all. You could take any vehicle on here whatsoever, as long as it's not like covered in snow. You don't need four-wheel drive. You don't need lifts. You can just drive this road, and it's absolutely beautiful. But you got to be careful. Don't be going off side roads. Don't be looking, oh, that looks good. Let's go over there, because the sides are very deep, as we found out back there. But we got the boys out. Everyone was having a good time. We were laughing through it all. They knew what they did wrong, and you know, they're going to be more careful in the future. They're going to carry some recovery gear. So all is well that ends well. So thanks for watching us here on Pingree Park Road. I don't know why I'm so tongue twisted on that, but it was a good day. We enjoyed it. Optimist is pretty dirty. Got to go get her washed, and then we'll get on to our next adventure. Thanks for watching, everybody. This has been Carrie with Trail Traveler. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.